And we are live from Legacy Field in Crown Point, Indiana, one more time in the 2022 16 to 18-year-old Ohio Valley Regional Tournament. I'm Andrew Mild, and I'm happy to have you on this journey as we finally conclude this tournament. And after some rain on Friday, postponed this tournament to another day, and it was exciting baseball right before this game between the Eau Claire Athletics, who you will be watching playing the home team. They're currently in the field right now, and the Highland Trojans, which it was a great game, and Eau Claire was able to pull away and get the win by a final score of 7-4 as they trailed momentarily 4-3, and then their hitting really came clutch later in the game, and they won 7-4 to redeem themselves. They lost to Highland last year in the Ohio Valley Regional Tournament, and Highland went on to go to the World Series, and now Eau Claire is one win away from going to the World Series. And this might be the only time this season where a team called the Athletics may be a win away from punching their ticket to a World Series, obviously alluding to the Oakland A's. But the Crown Point Dirtbags, they are the surprising team. They were outscored yesterday 23-2, 23-3, and were actually outscored. We're actually out no hit in the first game against Elmhurst, who is actually not here. Elmhurst was supposed to be the number one seed, but they simply just did not show up, and that allowed the Dirtbags to take a 7-0 win over them. There would be a run for every inning that they did not play, and then mark it down as a 7-0 shutout for the Dirtbags. We're getting ready to go. The umpires in this game, Greg Furman will be calling balls and strikes. Gary Chick down the first baseline. Jordan Pinkins will be at second base, and David Alvarado is at third. Let's go through the starting lineup for the Crown Point Dirtbags, who will be batting first in this matchup. Christian Kostoff will lead it off. He'll be out in center field. Matt Corona batting second. He is the shortstop for the Dirtbags. C.J. Hardy will be behind the plate batting third. Owen Winters batting cleanup. He is at third base. Jaden Andrus will be the designated hitter, and he will be in the 5-hole. Ryan Black will be out in right field batting sixth. Nate Moravilla, who had the big 2 RBI double against Hammond in the first game of the day, where the Dirtbags won the game 5-3, will be batting seventh. Eli Sparks is the extra hitter batting eighth. Eden Hensley will bat ninth, playing first base, and rounding out the lineup for Hensley's Dirtbags is Max McNeil, who will be in left field. The defensive alignment for the Eau Claire Athletics will go as this. Trent Palmer, Ryan Hall, and Ryan Bruick will patrol the outfield. That goes from left field to right field. And same for the infield, going from left to right. It's Eli Rothke, Giles Gruthausen, Logan Hesselman, Chase Watkins. Behind the plate is Carter Veith. And then pitching is going to be Caden Russo. Russo is already up to 28 pitches, as he did pitch against Highland to close out the game as they throw it down, and we're ready to go. The regional championship is on the line. All the games have come down to this. The Dirtbags, the host team of the tournament, who come into this game 3-2 without having to get that third win by playing because it was a forfeit. And then the 4-0 Eau Claire Athletics, the representatives of the state of Wisconsin. Russo on the mound. He starts his windup, and the first pitch is hit off to the right and out of play, and it will be strike one. First pitch comes in at 3:10. On a gloomy but nice day at Legacy Field, there's overhead clouds, but it feels nice at field level, around 80 degrees, I would say. Curveball misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. Kostoff was 2 for 4, where he also drew 2 walks in the game this morning against the Hammond Hurricanes, who were actually the Indiana State champions, but lost to the Dirtbags. We've had some great games today. It was the Dirtbags and Hammond to start the day, and then on the other field at that time, it was Highland and the Rockets. Line drive in the left. This is headed for the gap. It drops down for a hit. Let's see if they're going to send Kostoff. They will. Kostoff saving for a second. The throw is not in time. Head first slide for Kostoff. And the Dirtbags start off with the double. Kostoff gets dirty early as there was a fastball inside. He turned on it, positioned it perfectly between Ryan Hall and Trent Palmer in the outfield. And Ryan Hall had to backhand it after it slowed down after hitting the sod. And Hall fired it in, but it was a close play, but Kostoff is in there safely. The Dirtbags have an early opportunity to score. Here's the pitch, and Corona lifts one off to the right. It's going to stay in the yard, but not playable for Chase Watkins. It is 0-1. Corona went 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk, as the story of the game between the Dirtbags and the Hurricanes of Hammond was that first inning, where they scored 5 runs on 4 hits. And again, it was that big double by Maravilla in that inning that really propelled the Dirtbags. And that 5-run crooked first inning is what would carry them to the 8-5 victory, as the Hurricanes actually had tied it 5-5 after the third. But the Dirtbags were able to score 2 in the fourth and 1 more in the sixth. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Corona, because Corona tried to catch up to a high heater, but was behind it. It's now 1-2. This is how Russo would like to bounce back after allowing the leadoff doubles. Try to get a strikeout here and get to the heart of the order. The 1-2. And that just missed. Woo. That missed by an inch or two. A phenomenal take by Corona. Somehow being able to spit on that slider and let it sail just outside to make the count 2-2. Russo delivers. And another foul ball as it bounced off the padding behind home plate. We'll do 2-2 again. Dirtbags and Eau Claire Athletics. Dirtbags in the purple with the silver sleeves. The pitch. That's ball 3, and the count will run full to Corona. The Dirtbags' first inning was the story. Let's see if they can replicate that here in the top of the first of a very important ball game. A trip to the World Series on the line. 3-2. Hit in the shallow center field, but Ryan Hall was played perfectly. He just drifts to his left and makes the play for the first out. It wasn't hit too far, so Kostoff, who's at second, just stayed there. And there's the first out. C.J. Hardy comes up. Hardy went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a walk, and an RBI in this morning's game. He'll be behind home plate when we start. His battery mate for the game is Jimmy Rush, who is currently sitting in the dugout, hoping to come into the game with some runs on the board, as Eau Claire's offense really took off later in the ball game against Highland, which allowed them to take the win and get here and be one step away from the World Series, just where they were a year ago. Breaking ball stays a little up on Hardy, and it's 1-0. Eau Claire made it all the way to the finals, lost a heartbreaking game to Highland, allowed Highland to go to the World Series in Alabama. But can they go from Wisconsin to Washington? 1-1 after a fastball was called a strike on the outer black. It's 1-1 to C.J. Hardy, who wears the number 11. So 1-1 on the board, 1-1 on the back of Hardy. We'll also see the back of Hardy when we get to the bottom of the first, because he will be the catcher. The pitch, and that's a strike. It bends in there for strike 2. A late breaking slider, and Russo is ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, it's a leadoff double by Kostoff. That's why he's staying over at second base. And if the Dirtbags strand him there, it's going to be good news for the Athletics. And that's a foul ball, as Hardy had to protect there. He was late on the fastball and hit it over to the west field, where it is not occupied. This is the last game. No more games tomorrow. Give a big shout out to all the helpers we had in this tournament up here in the booth and, of course, down on the field. And that's out, 2-2. The field took so much rain this past weekend, as we said on the broadcast yesterday, is whenever a tournament comes to Crown Point, especially here at Legacy Fields, Rain will find it no matter what. Break-even pitch is on its way. And a great sliding stop by Carter Veith. Keeps the baseball in front of him, and it is a full count. C.J. Hardy has battled back into the count. He was behind 1-2, and he has made it 3-2. If Hardy can get a base hit here with the speed of Kostoff would score on a hit. You have to throw one into the strike zone. You do have a free base, but you want to save your pitches. Payoff. Hit to right field. Bruick going back. It's over his head. It will drop. The Dirtbags are on the board as Kostoff will score from second and trade places with C.J. Hardy, and it is 1-0 for Crown Point. It was an up and away fastball, and C.J. Hardy goes for the nice level stroke and lifts it over the head of Ryan Bruick, who couldn't get to it, and it hits the warning track and then the wall. It one-hops it, and it's 1-0. Owen Winters, the cleanup hitter, will come up with some momentum for the Dirtbags. Here's the pitch, and it's a foul ball into the glove of Veith. It's 0-1. So Hardy picks up another RBI on the day. Kostoff has now scored twice today between the Hurricanes game and this one, and that's a strike on the outer black. That's a great pitch, 0-2. And now there's going to be a mound visit. This is quite interesting. Did not expect to see that on 0-2, but it must be something to do with the signs, as he only wanted the pitcher and the catcher. And now you're starting to wonder if maybe C.J. Hardy tried to steal signs from second base. That Xavier Bembeneister went to go talk to his pitcher and catcher, and most likely to change up the signs here and assure that the Dirtbags don't have an advantage of knowing what pitch is coming. As the Houston Astros were pretty good at that, but they went to the extreme route. It was just C.J. Hardy from second base. 0-2. And that's a little bit low. That's where Russo wanted it, to bury it down in the zone, see if he can do the swing and a miss. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's still 1 out, 1-0 for the Dirtbags. The set, the delivery. And then another slider that bends down low, and it's 2-2. So back-to-back sliders. You may go to a fastball here. See if he can get past Winters. Winters went 2 for 4 this morning. He swung a good bat. The pitch. That's strike 3. Fastball. Inside edge. And he gets the strike out looking. As Greg Furman does not have a delayed calls. That's good news for us broadcasters. As we cannot stand an umpire that takes a little bit to call a ball or a strike. That will now bring up Jaden Andrus. Andrus was 1 for 3 with an RBI, a run, and a walk. He also reached on an error. He goes for the lime green bat. That bat will stand out to any other bat that we will see in this ball game. The delivery, and there's a strike. It hits the outside corner, and Andrus is behind 0-1. A base hit would most likely score C.J. Hardy, who's standing at second base, unless Andrus hits it hard enough for an outfielder to get back to his relay man in time. The 0-1, and it drops in for another strike. It front doors Andrus, and Andrus was actually stuck at the knees as that slider moved just in time as it was coming right for Andrus' head and then broke right back in. That's exactly what you look for in a slider. It's pretty easy to throw a strike when the guy's not swinging. Line drive left field. It gets down for a hit. Are they going to send Hardy? They are, because it gets past the left fielder, Palmer, and it's 2-0 Dirtbags. Some clutch hitting with runners in scoring position for Crown Point, and they have taken a 2-run cushion before Eau Claire can even get a chance at the plate. And now the infield's going to come in and talk to their pitcher, Russo. As that's the third hit already for the Dirtbags. 2 doubles. That's really been the difference, too. One from Kostoff to start the game. The one from C.J. Hardy in the right. And then Jaden Andrus hits an RBI single to send Hardy home. The meeting has been broken up by Furman. Wants to get back into action as Ryan Black will step up to the plate with a runner on first, and his team currently up the 2 runs. Eau Claire looking to end the inning right here as they deliver a strike to start the at-bat 0-1. In the last 2 hits that have allowed the run to score came with 2 strikes. C.J. Hardy doubled off the wall on a full count, and then Jaden Andrus is behind 0-2. 0-1, center field. Ryan Hall will go to his left. He was positioned perfectly, and he makes the play. But 2 runs score on 3 hits, and 1 error by the Athletics. We'll go to the bottom of the first with the Dirtbags up 2-0. As you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Home half of the first with the Athletics getting their first chance at the plate in this championship game. And this is what the lineup they have gone to. Ryan Hall in center field, batting leadoff. Trent Palmer will bat second out and left. Carter Veith is the 3-hitter. He's the catcher also. Sam Knickerbocker is the extra player. He will bat cleanup today. Chase Watkins is over at first, batting 5th. Logan Hesselman bats 6th. Giles Gronthausen is the shortstop. He will bat 7th. And rounding out the lineup for Eau Claire is Eli Rothke, Dylan McCracken, and Ryan Bruick. The defensive alignment for the Dirtbags will start in the outfield going from right to left. We Ryan Black, Christian Kostoff, and Max McNeil. And on the infield going from right to left is Aiden Hensley, Nate Marvilla. Pitch. That is outside, ball 1. Matt Corona is the shortstop. Owen Winters at the hot corner for the Dirtbags. And C.J. Hardy will be the battery mate of Jimmy Rush in this game. Rush delivers. And that one's up and in to Hall. And it's 2-0. Hall went 0 for 3, but did score a couple of times because he reached on an error and a walk. The delivery. And there's a strike. There's the first strike from Jimmy Rush. And the count is 2-1. That was the 3rd pitch from Jimmy Rush since coming into the game and getting the start. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball is down and away, 3-1. And if Hall can work his way on base, that's good news for the Athletics. Hall's got some good speed. Then would set up the heart of the order who did some damage against Highland. The 3-1, and that will hit Hall as it would have been ball 4 anyway. But for our stats, anyway, it goes down as a HBP, a hit by pitch. So unofficial at bat for Hall. And that will bring up Trent Palmer, who had a great game. 3 for 3, a walk. One of those hits was a double, and he scored all 3 times. So he reached base 4 times and scored 3 times. So he was busy on the base paths in the game against the Trojans. Here's the pitch. And this one's clobbered in the right center. It's going to get down. That's going to be extra bases. The Eau Claire Athletics are off to the races. Ryan Hall is going to get the stop sign, and that is a double for Eau Claire, who, after allowing 2 runs in the top of the first, have responded with a walk and a double, and the tying run is already in scoring position for Eau Claire. As the great Chris Berman once said, that's why you play the game, as you do not expect the Dirtbags to be in this position, let alone winning. As this is a very good Eau Claire team. There's also some really good teams in this tournament. And that gets the jersey of Carter Veith. A breaking ball started behind Veith, but just got enough of the white jersey to allow him to go over the first base. And it might be to a point where Coach Hensley may go talk to his pitcher. Bases are juiced. The go-ahead run's already at first base. Sam Knickerbocker, which might be my favorite name in the tournament, is at the plate now, the cleanup hitter. And this is why you have a cleanup hitter. He bats fourth because the bases get loaded. You can clean them all up with a grand slam. But for Eau Claire, they'd be happy with just a base hit. At least get 1 run on the board. There's still no outs. Knickerbocker hits one on the ground on the left side. It's picked up by Winters. Winters going to go home. They got him at home. The throw to first is in time. 5, 2, 3. Double play. Incredible. Great defense by the Crown Point Dirtbags. And now this is going to set up a big at-bat for Chase Watkins, who didn't get an at-bat in the previous game. There's still runners on third and second. So at least the tying run is still in scoring position for Eau Claire. They just need to get a hit from Watkins. Watkins takes a breaking ball inside that danced around the plate. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Eau Claire had the bases loaded and no outs, but after the double play by the Dirtbags, they're 1 out away from putting a 0 up. Swing and a miss. Watkins takes a big rip at the changeup and swung right through it. It's 1-1. A good time to throw that changeup, as Watkins sat on the bench for all game, and now he's trying to get back into it, get into a rhythm. Center field, crossoffs, and he won't be able to make a play. A run scores. Here comes another one. He will cross the plate, and a big 2-out hit from Chase Watkins knocks us up at 2. Seemed like Kostoff didn't get a good beat on the ball, and he just allowed to drop in front of him. Palmer and Veith score as Veith was on the move. Due to it being 2 outs, and we're tied. This is hit in the left field. McNeil's not gonna get there either, and there's another hit for the Athletics. Hesselman, who was 2 for 2 with a walk in the game just before this one, continues a very good day with a base hit into the opposite field, and that is the 3rd hit for Eau Claire, and back-to-back hits since the double play. So now allowing the double play to hurt the momentum, they have hit their way into a tie game, and they are 1 hit away from possibly taking their first lead. But Giles Gronthausen, can he deliver? Hands right over the heart of the plate. Here's the pitch, and it missed inside. He's ducked out of the way, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. All the Eau Claire players are electing for the high socks, navy colored with the red and white. Granthausen tries to go the opposite way, just got underneath it, hits it off to the right, and it's a foul ball, 1-1. Jimmy Rush has fired 13 pitches in this inning. He's in a 1-1 count. But after the double play, he thought he was going to get out of there clean, but Eau Claire has now allowed him off the hook. Great block by Hardy. The scouting report by Hardy is that he's a brick wall behind the plate, and you saw it right there. Really pouncing on that baseball and keeping it in front of him. The count is now 2 balls and a strike. Eau Claire has responded to the Crown Point Dirtbags top of the first with their own 2-run bottom of the first. 4 runs have been scored in total in this frame. Counts 2-2. to Groundhausen. Groundhausen with the black Marucci bat. His hands extended just from his body. There's the pitch. And hit back up the middle. It's a sliding grab by Corona, who will then apply the tag to second base for the third out. Dirtbags score 2 in the top of the first. Eau Claire scores 2 in the bottom of the first. So after one inning, we're tied. We go to the second inning with your score 2-2 as you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Second inning, and it's Deuces Wild on the board right now as the Dirtbags scored 2 runs on 3 hits, and then Eau Claire scored 2 runs on 3 hits. So matching one with the other, blow for blow, as we'll see which team will come away with a regional championship and a trip to the state of Washington in Utica, Washington. And it's a strike, 0-1 to Nate Maravilla, who will kick off our second inning. Maravilla had a 2 RBI double in the first inning of this morning's game against Hammond, and that's what capped off the scoring. It drove in a pair of runs. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. The windup, the delivery. And it's a foul ball off the glove of Carter Veith. The count is 1-2. Correction. As Russo with the blue and red glove peers over his leather and the 1-2 pitch. And that hits Maravilla. That fastball ran inside and clips Maravilla in the back of his left elbow. And he will now take first base. An unofficial at bat for Maravilla. But for the Dirtbags, they're happy to see more traffic on the base paths as they swung some hot sticks today. Those are the 5 runs in the first against Hammond to start off the day. 2 runs to start off the first in today's game. And they would like to recapture the lead and maybe add a couple more. Here, bunt is shown, pulled back by Sparks, and it's a strike on the outer edge. It nudged its way right in there. It was the good old number 1 from Russo, and it's 0-1. There's no outs, and the runner on first, 2-2. Dirtbags and Athletics, the regional championship. And an awkward swing by Sparks. He goes right over a breaking ball. He was fooled, to say the least, on that one. It's 0-2. Russo had a rough first inning. He allowed the 2 doubles and a single. The double will start the day from Kostoff, and that's to set the table. And that's up and away. The throw down the first base, and it's not in time. Veith thought he could try and back pick Maravilla at first base, and Chase Watkins was ready over there. He's holding the runner on. He was able to stab at it, and it's still going to be 1-2. Pitch, and it's a strike 3, but Sparks does not matter. He's an automatic out due to first base being occupied on the strikeout, so he will just go back to his dugout. But on the wild pitch, Maravilla took second base. That's the second strikeout for Russo in this appearance. But there's a runner in scoring position for Aiden Hensley. MLB draft coming on at 5 o'clock Central Time. So about an hour and a half from now. Home Run Derby tomorrow. That should be fun. Myself, I'm going with Polar Pete. Strike on the outside corner with 1 out. 0-1 to Hensley. As now they're going to talk to one another on the infield. That was Watkins and Eli Rothke that talked to their pitcher, Caden Russo. It's a long day of baseball that started at 9 a.m. will finally come to an end today. 0-1. It dances on the inside corner at front towards Hensley, who lifted his arms up thinking that was going to be inside. But instead, Russo just got enough of the inside corner for it to be a strike. He's ahead 0-2. There's 1 out and a runner in scoring position. It's Maravilla standing there. He's got good speed. He's got a lead. And Russo's going to step off and reset. Max McNeil is on deck. His teammate come up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position in a big spot. The wind up the pitch, and that one is just inside. It backed off Hensley off the plate, and it's 1-2. The field looks gorgeous, even after all the rain it took. The lines all ready. It looks ready for a championship game. And that down and away. That was close. A great take by Hensley. And the count even out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not sure how Hensley was able to lay off of that one, as it was a tumbling breaking ball by Russo, and he just missed the corner. Still 2-2. The pitch. And it's a foul ball, and the bat goes flying. Wow. I'm not sure it went further, the bat or the ball. The ball went to the backstop. The bat went down the left field line towards the Eau Claire dugout. And I'm betting that Max McNeil is pretty happy that he's on the first base side and not the third base side, because he'd been playing dodgeball with Hensley's bat. But I guess if you can dodge a bat, you can dodge a ball. Strike 3 called, no doubt about it. Nasty breaking ball by Caden Russo. Catches Hensley looking, and that's back-to-back Ks for the right-hander, and that's the second out. McNeil is the new hitter, and he comes up in a big spot. 2 outs, runner on second, 2-2 game. Eau Claire swung some hot bats in the bottom of the first inning, and were able to tie the game, and they did a lot of the damage with 2 outs, as there was the double play with the bases loaded and no outs. And considering the circumstances, I bet the Dirtbags are okay allowing this game to be tied. It could have been a lot worse. At the belt is Russo. Here's his pitch. And it's a ground ball to the right. It's Hesselman at second base that will pick it up and toss it over to Watkins for the third out. So Nate Maravilla wears one to lead off the inning. He gets a second with 1 out, and he does not score. He will be left stranded. So we'll go to the middle of the second inning with your score still 2-2. As you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Tournament on the Crown Point Sports Network. The athletic side of the second inning. Andrew Mile here with you at the 2022 16 to 18-year-old Ohio Valley Regional Championship game. as Eli Rothke, Dylan McCracken, and Ryan Bruick are due up for Eau Claire, who tied it up in the bottom of the first inning. And here's the first pitch, and it dances onto the outside corner for strike one. As Jimmy Rush drops down slightly enough by the shoulder to get the spin that he needs for a more lateral movement instead of vertical movement. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to start off this at-bat. Rothke went 0 for 3 in the game before as he has another good take on a fastball that just missed, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Steps back into the box, and Rush wastes no time. This is his last name. It's fitting now. He pitches. He's always in a rush, it feels like. Gets the ball and hurls it. 3-1. It's a ground ball out to short. Corona. Oh, man, that eats up Corona on a really bad hop. Corona was attacking the ball. He slowed up, and they throw the ball past the first baseman, Hensley. Hardy was behind him. He throws the second, and they're going to get him. That was interesting. I don't know if that's how Crown Point drew it up, but it pays off for him. As Rothke does get a hit, and there's 1 out, as that was 6-2-6. And no, that's not Stitch. Of course, that's Lilo and Stitch's experimentation number, so that kind of worked out. So maybe that play was sponsored by Disney. McCracken's up. McCracken takes one up and in. And the count is 2-0. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off to the right. And it's 1-2 is the count. Breaking ball just stays above the strike zone. Just levitates right over, and McCracken will see another pitch. He was 1 for 3 against Highland. Let's see if he can get on base here. Hits a chopper to the left, and this one's going to be gobbled up by Corona. Corona relays it over to Hensley, who will take the out. So after a very unique type of out to start off the athletics side of the second inning, they get a routine out of McCracken, and 2 gone. Bruick is the 10 hitter of Eau Claire. So after this, we'll go back to the top of the order, and the pitch misses out. 1 ball and a strike. Rush trying to have a quiet inning here and match the 0 from Eau Claire in the top of this inning, and it's 2-0 now. Another fastball just missed the outer edge. He just keeps pulling the fastball outside. The windup, 2-0 pitch. Slider, it's a check swing back to Rush. Rush comes off the mound like a cat, throws over the first, and he gets Ryan Bruick. Because Bruick's not happy with that swing, as he normally probably wouldn't practice that. And that concludes our second inning. So you can close the book through 2. Your score is 2-2. We'll go to the third, as this is the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. third inning, and the Dirtbags will start with the top of their order. And when we get to the bottom of the third, so will the Eau Claire Athletics. So somehow, some way, both sides had the same amount of runs and hits in the first, and both teams put the same amount of runs up in the second inning and stranded one runner apiece. And we'll start with the top of their order. There's a strike to start off the at-bat to Kostoff, who doubled and came around to score to start the game. So both teams are tied at 2. Both teams scored 2 runs in the first inning. Low, 1-1 the Kostoff. Kostoff, the center fielder, wearing the number 481. And he's doing battle against Russo, who goes for his third full inning of work in this game, as he pitched also previously today. That's why his pitch count is now up to 79 after he throws one right across the plate for strike 2. Kostoff's double was between the center fielder Hall and Palmer, the left fielder, that allowed him to get the first to second as the ball hit the grass and slowed itself up. And he swings over a nasty, sharp breaking ball for strike 3. Count him up, 4 Ks for Russo, as 3 of his last 4 outs have come from the strikeout. 4 Ks, 2 looking and 2 swinging. Corona now comes from the on-deck circle as he flew out to center in his last at-bat. Puts the bat extended from his body, and he takes one for a strike. Russo's got some good breaking stuff. It looks like it's a combination of a slider and a curveball that he's going to keep going to until the Dirtbags can show that they can hit it. 0-1. There's the curveball. That is called a ball as it just went off of the outer edge for ball 1. The slider is a little bit more tighter than the curveball. The curveball is loopy but still has the same effectiveness of the slider. 1-1, and that's the slider, and it was a little low for Corona. 2-1 as Corona is a shorter player, so he has a smaller strike zone than normal. That means that he has a good area to try and drive a baseball. As he drives this one on the ground to the left, it gets past the diving Rothke in the left for a hit. Corona got a fastball that was low and in, and he just put the barrel on it, took some worms with them. He hit right onto the ground and hit it past Rothke and Gruthausen and in the left. And the Dirtbags have a runner on first base. Hardy now is back up. He doubled, drove in a run, and then came around to score in his last at-bat. And that's a ball low in the dirt, blocked by Veith. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. One runner on, 2-2 game. Crown Point in Eau Claire, looking to see who gets to go to the Pacific Northwest. A strike, outer edge, 1-1. Might have to try to convince one of these teams to take me with them so I can check out T-Mobile Park, home of the Seattle Mariners. I've yet to cross that off my list of ballparks I have been to. I've been told it is a gorgeous stadium. It's the house that Griffey built. Throw over the first is not in time. Of course, the Mariners started in the Kings Dome, and that's where Griffey got his start when he was called up by the Mariners in 1989, I believe. Maybe it was a little bit later than that. I think that was the year he might have gotten drafted, was 89, right out of high school in Cincinnati, Ohio. 1-1. It's a chopper to the left. Is this going to be a fair ball? It is a fair ball. I'm surprised Rothke touched it when it was still in fair play. It looks like it was ticketed for a foul ball, but he touched it on the line, and Hardy gets a hit. Hardy is 2 for 2. There's 1 out, and Corona is on second base. That is now 5 hits in the game by the Dirtbags, 4 of them by the top of this order. Curveball misses for ball 1 to Owen Winters. Winters struck out looking against Russo. The Dirtbags are just getting the bounces right now. It's not about how hard you hit it, it's where you place it. The pitch. Ground ball to the right. That gets through for a hit. And they're going to send Corona. Here comes a throw from Bruick, and he's safe. Another run's going to score for the Dirtbags. They take a 3-2 lead. Winters just punched this one out to right field. Nobody was there as Hesselman was holding Corona on second base. And because of the throw, Winters moves up, and that's 3 straight hits for the Dirtbags. Corona, Hardy, and Winters. Andres, who had an RBI single in the first inning, steps up. Infield playing in. There's nobody at first base. The windup from Russo. Slider's a strike. Andres was able to chip his baseball down the left field line and drop it right in front of Trent Palmer to drive in C.J. Hardy from second base. Here is the pitch. And that one's just a tad bit low, just below the knees. And it is 1-1 to Andres. A ground ball on the infield. There's a good chance that Hardy will stay at third, and then Eau Claire can just take the out at first. But let's see what happens here. And Andres swings through a fastball. It's 1-2. He didn't think it was going to be the fastball. He must have been sitting something breaking ball as he let that fastball go right by him. And this is where Russo's been struggling. He gets to 2 strikes, and he sometimes throws too good of a pitch, and that's where the Dirtbags make him pay. The 1-2. And that's a good 1-2 pitch right there. Just some better takes from the Dirtbags. Their approach at the plate has been spot on against a good pitcher. Russo's got 3 pitches, a fastball, slider, and the curve. And whenever you get to a 1-2 or 0-2 count, they've been able to lay off the breaking balls out of the zone. 2-2. And that is a good 2-strike swing from Andres. Andres was able to stay back on it and frail at it and just get a piece of it to send it to the chain link fence behind him. We'll do 2-2. Russo extends his arms over his head, almost Clayton Kershaw-esque. The pitch. And Andres hits another foul ball as he gets past third base coach James Hensley. Actually, he might have gotten a piece of it, and that ball will be relayed back to the pitcher. Some insurance runs, some ducks on the pond, if you will, are standing on third and second. Andres looking to capitalize and get his team their largest lead of the game. The 2-2, the break even. Andres fouls another one off. He's always served to be a tough out, especially in this tournament. He has spoiled off some pretty competitive breaking balls as Russo's been trying to front door him ever since he's gotten ahead in the count. Andres has seen plenty of pitches. Make this a quality at-bat. The 2-2 from Russo. And guess what? It's a foul ball. Got over the top of a fastball, dribbled it off to the left, but either way, he stays in there to see another pitch. The old saying goes, the more pitches you foul off, eventually you might see one go over the middle of the plate. That's what Andres is looking for, the pitch. And it's a line shot, base hit in the right. A 1-run will score. They get in the wave around. Here comes Winters. He scores. It's cut off. It's 5-2 Dirtbags. Jaden Andres. He has 3 RBIs on the day. And his team has their largest lead. They have scored 3 runs in the third. And they're still threatening with 1 out. Russo is at 95 pitches. He can go up to 105, but he can go over that threshold if he's finishing in at bat. Inside of Bleck. Bleck flew out to center. But again, it's the top of this order that's been doing all the damage. That's the 4th hit in the row for the Dirtbags. That's a strike. 1-1. It was a strikeout of Kostov to start the inning. And then 4 straight singles. Corona, Hardy, Winters, and Andres. Andres' hit is what's gotten his team the 5-2 advantage, as he just sent it in a pair. That's outside, 2-1. You want to make sure you have the nice, comfortable lead on Eau Claire as Eau Claire's got someone warming up in their bullpen. It appears it was their catcher from a game before. Ground ball to the shortstop, Grothausen. Goes to Hesselman at second. They go to first, and it's a ending double play. But 4 hits gives Crown Point a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the third. Your new score, 5-2 for the Dirtbags. You're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Who would have thought of this? The Dirtbags have a 5-2 lead going into the bottom of the third. Jimmy Rush has the cushion after watching his team get 4 straight hits to drive in those 3 runs. As there has been 7 hits by the Dirtbags, and through the first 5 hitters, it's all 7. No hits from the bottom of the order. Back to Rush. Rush will go to first and get Ryan Hall in plenty of time, as Hall just had to trot the extra 45 feet to touch first base, and he is out. There was no question about it. And there's 1 gone. Still plenty of baseball left, but as of right now, the Dirtbags have been swinging some hot sticks, as that was good news for them. They won their game, didn't have to play Elmhurst, got the game off, watched as Eau Claire and Highland did battle. Foul ball into the glove, 0-1 to Palmer. And they were wanting to play this game. They knew that Eau Claire would be tired from their emotional battle against Highland, a team they really wanted to beat. Left field line, base hit. And this is going to be serving as a double, as Max McNeil was shaded towards center field and slided in safely is Trent Palmer, who asks for time. And it's a 1-out double for Palmer and the Athletics, who are just looking to chip away at this 3-run cushion that the Dirtbags have been able to build on some very good hitting. As Jaden Andres says, if right now, if we did hand out player of the game, would get my vote. He's due for 2 with 3 RBIs. And that's why he's a designated hitter. He's currently sitting in the dugout. Carter Veith, the 3-hitter, will step up with his orange bat, trying to see if he can score in that run. He fouls one straight back, just missing that one, 0-1. As his camera is positioned right behind home plate, and if one of these players can hit it perfectly, sometimes it feels like it's coming right into your kitchen or living room, wherever you're watching the Crown Point Sports Network. We're happy to have you with us if you're tuning in, if you're from Eau Claire or Crown Point. This one is clobbered down the left field line. Is it fair? It is not. That was a good swing by Carter Veith, but his eyes got wide and his stomach got hungry as he saw that hanging breaking ball trying to sneak its way back inside, and he hit it hard and way down the line, but he was so early on it had no chance of really staying fair. Count is 0-2. Jimmy Rush, his job right now is to strand that runner at second base. Palmer's got the lead. He's going to be held on by Maravilla. The right side is wide open, and that is up and close to the helmet of Veith. It's now 1-2. As Veith goes with the number 97, which is quite unique. Don't usually see that on a baseball player. Maybe in spring training. Maybe on a defensive lineman in the NFL. The pitch. Called strike 3. Uncle Charlie paints the inside corner, and Veith is down on strikes, and there are 2 gone.
Number 35, Sam Knickerbocker.
That's the first strikeout for Jimmy Rush. And Sam Knickerbocker hit into a double play the last time up at the dish. Now see if he can get a 2-out hit. A good lead by Palmer at second. He was about halfway to third when Corona realized it's his responsibility now to hold him on, as Maravilla, the second baseman, is now playing towards first base, playing the pull side of Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker is the extra player, so you may see him in the field later, but not just right now. His job is just to hit, and that's what the Athletics are looking for. Just a big hit with 2 outs to score in a run. There's still plenty of ball left for them to chip away, but Jimmy Rush has been cool as a cucumber since the double from Trent Palmer. He got the strikeout, the 1-0. This is hitting the shallow left field. Corona going back, and he's there. He secures it at chest height, and the Dirtbags strand a runner on second, and we'll go to the 4th with Crown Point up 5-2. As you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Due up for the Dirtbags, Nate Marvilla, Eli Sparks, and Aiden Hensley. So the bottom of the order, they're looking for their first hit. If you look through the first 5 hitters, that's where you see all the hits. There's been 7 hits, and all of them came from Kostoff down to Andrus, but the bottom 5 have none. And there's a strike to Nate Maravilla to start off this at-bat. As Russo is now up to 100 pitches, as that's number 100 there, and he throws it for a strike, as Eau Claire is just going to try to get everything out they can from their right-hander. Is once he reaches 105, he can finish the batter, but then he is done. And that is called a ball. Maravilla thought that was possibly strike 3 as he put the hand at the bottom of his bat and started heading towards his dugout, but just missed. He chokes up slightly on his bat with the 2 strikes. The pitch, and that is down in the dirt, 2-2, and that's pitch 102 for Russo. So Russo, finding any very unique circumstances, he'll maybe get one more hitter. If he gets a strikeout here, he'll have 2 pitches to work with. Foul ball, and that's pitch 103, so he has to get an out here. If he can get an out here, he can at least face Sparks, who's on deck. But if not, he will throw pitch 105 to Marvilla and call it a day. Break even. And it's a grounder that's going to be a foul ball. And so Marvilla is going to be the last batter to face off against Caden Russo. That was pitch 104, and pitch 105 is coming up. And once he throws 105, he can finish the batter. So he can finish at least this at bat with Marvilla, but that's it. Anything beyond that would be an automatic forfeit for Eau Claire. Break even. Called strike 3. So at least he's going to finish on a strikeout, and he already knows that he's done. He was going to start heading to his dugout, but might as well get the baseball and stand on top of the mound and let your manager come get it. Marvilla strikes out looking. That will be the 5th and final strikeout for Russo, the right-hander. And as there is a pitching change, we will tell you who that pitcher is after we take a break. It is still the top of the 4th, and your score is still 5-2 for the Crown Point Dirtbags. And you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. So it's going to be Sam Knickerbocker, the left-hander who caught the game before, to come in and pitch for Eau Claire, closing day on Caden Russo. And the first pitch he throws is hit in the center field. Ryan Hall will sprint in to his left and make the play. So there is 2 outs, and that's one way to be efficient. Throw more warm-up pitches and actual pitches as there's a fly out into center field. 2 retired. And Aiden Hensley will now step up to the dish. As you can tell, Sam Knickerbocker was playing in the dirt earlier, as his whole front of his white uniform is not so white. I don't think that's how it started today, as it is that same color of the dirt. Pitch up. That's ball 1 to Hensley, as that breaking ball did not break the way that he was looking for. The wind up. The pitch from the southpaw. And it's a little bit low to Hensley, and it's 2-0. Hensley struck out looking in his last at-bat to Caden Russo. We'll give his line score. Ground ball to the right. It is backhanded by Watkins, and Watkins will just go over, kick the cushion for the 3 unassisted. 1-2-3 inning for the Eau Claire Athletics. We go to the bottom of the 4th with Crown Point up 5-2. You're watching the 2022 Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. through 3.5. And the Dirtbags are up 3 on the Eau Claire Athletics. Andrew Mild here with you on the Crown Point Sports Network. Happy to have you with us in the final game of this tournament. We finally reached the conclusion, and we're past halfway home. As I'm willing to bet a lot of Eau Claire folks are ready to head home and sleep in their own beds. And they're hoping to also walk away with a regional championship, as this was the same spot they were in a year ago and fell just short of going to the World Series. But for the Dirtbags, they didn't expect to be here, and they are just 12 outs away from being regional champions. That's out 1-1 to Chase Watkins, who singled and drove in those 2 runs, the lone 2 runs on the board for Eau Claire. The 1-1, and that's a little bit out, 2-1. Eau Claire's trying to get their offensive jump start here as they see the top of the order of the Dirtbags do all the damage. And that is a little bit out, 3-1 now. Dirtbags been able to hold Eau Claire off the board for the last 2 innings, and this is lifted into center field. Kostoff's going back. He leaps and he makes the grab. 3-1. Watkins got his pitch, and he drove it hard, but fortunately for Rush and the Dirtbags, Kostoff had played Watkins perfectly and got him out. So there's 1 gone to start the bottom of the 4th for Logan Heiselman, who went 2 for 2 earlier today, and is 1 for 1 in this game. This is his 2nd plate appearance. Here's Rush. He throws one that's upstairs, and it's ball 1. Eau Claire is on the fence, trying to cheer on their teammates, and there's a strike on the outer black, 1-1, as they are playing from behind. As Eau Claire is not used to that. They have really just dominated most of the tournament. They did have a come-from-behind victory against the Midwest Rockets, where they would walk it off in extra innings in the bottom of the 8th inning with the base hit in the left. But as of right now, they have to play from behind right against the Dirtbags, another Crown Point-based team. 1-2, and that is inside. Heiselman backed off the plate after that breaking ball moved in. Counts even out at 2-2. Rush looking for his 2nd out. Here's his pitch. And it's a line shot, and it finds Nate Maravilla. 2 hard-hit baseballs have found the Dirtbags defenders. It's a line out to 2nd, and they are 2 up and 2 down. Giles Grunhausen will try and get something going with 2 outs for the Athletics. Here's the windup and the delivery. And this is popped up right over our heads. And it sails over the press box. There was no thunk over us. That's usually when you can tell if it hit above our head or kept sailing to the parking lot. It's a strike to start off the at-bat to Grunhausen. Grunhausen hit into a fielder's choice to end the bottom of the 1st. As it was a sliding play by Matt Corona to get Logan Heiselman at 2nd base. 0-1, Rush gets a new baseball. A pearl, as they would say. As he throws the 0-1, line drive into right. Black goes to his left, and he secures it. And Grunhausen's not happy, as those 3 great swings by the Eau Claire Athletics. But somehow, some way, the Dirtbags played imperfectly all 3 times. We're through 4 innings. It's 5-2 for Crown Point. As you're watching the regional championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Currently a slight delay in the game as James Hensley was talking to the umpire, and Furman, who's behind the plate, just left the field as Gary Chick and Jordan Pinkins were telling us in the press box a quick 5-minute delay. So we will be back as we will resume play momentarily, so don't go anywhere. The Dirtbags are coming up, and they're leading 5-2. All right, so here's an update and why we're not playing ball right now. Home plate umpire Greg Furman is currently experiencing back spasms. So now one of the umpires had to go out in the left field wall to change into their home plate umpire equipment. So we will go down to a 3-man crew, and we will resume play when the umpires return. So 5-2 Dirtbags in the top of the fifth when we come back. And it looks like we'll be resuming play. And it's fair to say that Sam Knickerbocker, the pitcher, will get a few warm-up. We are back. Sam Knickerbocker will get a few warm-up pitches as there's going to be some defensive alignment changes for the umpires. As Jordan Pinkins will now go to third, and David Alvarado, who is at the hot corner, will now go behind the plate in place of Greg Furman. And, of course, best wishes to Greg as he had his back lock up on him, and hopefully he's okay. It just all of a sudden hit him in between innings before we got the fifth inning started, as there's a slight delay, and we'll get back to action with Max McNeil.
Number 12, Max McNeil.
And, of course, Max McNeil's grandparents, Jack and Sandy McNeil, are listening and watching this game all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona. So the Crown Point Sports Network goes from Crown Point, Indiana, all the way down to Scottsdale. McNeil will step up to the plate as all the umpires are ready to go. As that is now the second time in this tournament where we've had a delay due to the home plate umpire getting injured. So it's never safe when you're behind home plate, I guess. The pitch, McNeil goes for a bunt. He jabs at it and misses it for strike one. So it's 0-1 to McNeil. So after the long pause, Knickerbocker delivers a strike. Rothke, the third baseman, now playing in on the grass naturally after seeing the bunt attempt from McNeil, the 10-hitter. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, just misses the back leg of McNeil. It is 1-1. McNeil, red helmet, red bat, and the pitch. And that's a fastball that misses to make it 2-1. And we'll see what that delay does for the momentum in this game, as all the momentum has been on the side of the Dirtbags. They've been swinging the bats well. They've been playing defense extremely well, as they've been somehow, some way, positioned perfectly for every line drive, it feels like, off the bats of Eau Claire. Strike right down the middle. It's 3-2. McNeil steps out. Knickerbocker just likes to get the baseball and go right back into his windup and deliver the 3-2. And it's hit in the air right side. This should be a routine play for Watkins, and it is, as he had to dance his way around first base to make sure he doesn't get tripped up. And there's the first out of the fifth inning.
Now coming to the plate, Christian Kostal.
Back to the top with Christian Kostoff. This will be the third time that the Dirtbags will be at the top of their order. And again, it's the first five hitters of the lineup that have gotten these 7 hits. Kostoff had the double to start off the game, and he scored. He struck out swinging in his last at-bat, and he gets hit. Curveball goes inside, gets the lead on Kostoff, and Kostoff is standing on first base.
Now coming to plate number 1, Matt Corona.
That will send up Matt Corona. Corona in the game is 0 for 2, 1 for 2. He went 0 for 3 in the last game. With a single and a flyout, he scored. Corona hit a hard grounder in the left. And the check over the first, and the ball gets past Watkins, but Kostoff didn't realize it until he looked up, and Watkins was already getting to the baseball, and it would have been an easy play if Kostoff would have taken off for second base. Rothke at the hot corner is playing in. Now he's playing even with the bag in case there's a bunt. The pitch, and that misses. Ball 1. As Knickerbocker got to pop out the first, and then he hit Kostoff. That has allowed the Dirtbags to get a runner on base. They've gotten a runner on base in every inning. Line shot over the head of Watkins in the right field. Kostoff does not slow down. He hits second. He will head up to third. And there's the 8th hit for the Dirtbags, and the second from Matt Corona.
Now coming to plate number 11, C.J. Hardy.
C.J. Hardy, who's 2 for 2, will come up. He has scored twice in the game and has an RBI. He has an opportunity to get another run in. It's 5-2 in favor of Crown Point. And they could extend their lead to 6-2 if they can get a ball in play. Here's the pitch. That's a tad bit low. 1-0. The Dirtbags are 9 outs away from going to the World Series. A team that you never would have thought would have gotten to this spot after yesterday. Runner on the move. The throw back to Knickerbocker. Corona will just get second base with no throw. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position. A hit from Hardy could break this game wide open for Crown Point. Set is Knickerbocker. In a 1-1 count, the infield is playing in. Here is the pitch. There's the breaking ball, and that is a miss. It's 2-1. Knickerbocker is the southpaw. He works on the third base side. He's trying to dance his way around danger, but we'll see what he can do. The 2-1, and the foul ball into the glove on a Hardy cut by Hardy. Tried to clobber that one into left field and get 2 RBIs. But the count is even out at 2-2 with Owen Winters standing on deck. Knickerbocker looks back the runner at second. Here's the pitch, and he can't get on top of the curveball. It is 3-2. A walk here would mean bases loaded for Winters and possibly Andrus. Andrus, who's in the hole, has 3 RBIs and is 2 for 2. Here's the payoff. And it's lifted out of play. We'll do 3-2 again. There's a slight breeze in the right. That's where Hardy went in the first. We hit the ball over the head of Ryan Bruick. That drove in Christian Kostoff from second. Kostoff is standing over at third. Corona is at second. They're actually running behind the Athletics defenders. Here's the pitch. That's inside. Hardy gets walked. Here we go. Owen Winters, the cleanup hitter. He had an opportunity to drive in the run in his first at-bat, but he struck out. Then in the third, he drove in a run and scored himself. And he hits one in the center field. Hall was playing up. Now he's going to have to throw this one back in, and a run should score, and it does for the Dirtbags. They take a 6-2 lead on the sacrifice fly from Owen Winters. He wasted no time in the count. He saw the first pitch he liked and drove it to center. Just got underneath it, but he gets a job done for his second RBI, and Kostoff scores his second run. The largest lead is now 4 for the Dirtbags. But Jaden Andrus, who's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, comes up in another RBI opportunity. He swings through a fastball and just got a piece of it, but it went to the glove of Veith. It's 0-1. Andrus had a nice battle in his last at-bat and served one into right to drive in 2 runs in the third to give his team a 5-2 lead, and he fouls another one off. It is 0-2. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. 6-2 for Crown Point. Andrus chokes up on his bat, trying to get good control of that barrel and battle off that's anything close. 0-2. That is just inside. Andrus was able to lay off of it. It didn't quite hit him. So the count will move to 1-2 with 2 outs. Knickerbocker delivers. And that's a strikeout. Andrus swings through a fastball. He was early on it. And it's strike 3. And that's the first strikeout for Knickerbocker. The Dirtbags have a 4-run cushion. Let's see if they can defend it, as they are still 9 outs away from going to the World Series. You're watching the Crown Point Sports Network. Athletics side of the fifth. They're down 4 runs as the Dirtbags have been hitting the baseball. As we will now switch cameras, as for some reason the camera is low on battery, as you saw pop up on your screen. So you will get this angle. Sorry about that. You still see the game. Driven into center. Kostoff is there. He did not have to move. It was hit hard, and Rothke, who was the batter, is out. Time and time again, Eau Claire has just hit the ball hard, but finding every defender they can for the Dirtbags. McCracken will now take a crack at the plate against Jimmy Rush. Here's the delivery from Rush, and he misses just off the corner for ball 1. That's a nice part about David Alvarado. He will communicate where that pitch missed if it did miss. The 1-0, and that is high for 2 balls and no strikes in the count. It's McCracken grounded out to short in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1. He swings at the 2-0 and will hit it behind the Dirtbags dugout for strike 1. Count will move to 2 balls and a strike with Crown Point now 8 outs away from a regional championship. Breaking ball is high for ball 3. 3-1. It's a high leverage count for McCracken, who's a designated hitter. Went 1 for 3 against Highland. Here is the delivery, and there is ball 4. McCracken works a 5-pitch walk. As if you can hear it through our field mic, the fans of Eau Claire are trying to cheer their team back into it, as they've been held up the board for 3 consecutive innings by Jimmy Rush and the defense behind him, as Rush only has 1 strikeout. So his defense has been really doing all the work for him. Here is the pitch, and that is a foul ball. Bruick just got underneath it and hit it right behind the backstop. It is 0-1. Ryan Bruick, who plays right field, steps back into the box, and that is down low for a 1-1 count with 1 out. Bruick with the blue and silver bat. The bottom of the order has not done much for Eau Claire, but they are trying to work their way back into it as Bruick fouls one off, and it is 1-2 as it bounced off of C.J. Hardy. 1-2 between Rush and Bruick. Bruick grounded out in his last at-bat. It was that bunt attempt that went right back to the pitcher Rush as he bounced off the mound and then threw him out. It was an athletic play by the right-handed pitcher. Is Alvarado, the home plate umpire, substituting for Furman, wipes off home plate, and we will reset for the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Rush, long look at the runner. Here's his pitch, and that's a foul ball. That's the definition of an emergency hack by Bruick. He did not expect that pitch to move the way it did. He just got a piece of it and spoiled it, and he will see a 1-2 again. Rush has thrown a lot of strikes. Not too many walks from the right-hander. Ground ball to the left. It's picked up by Winters. Winters going to second. They got him. They go to first, and he's safe. Bruick will reach on the fielder's choice on a 5-4 putout. There's 2 gone. We go back to the top of the order with Ryan Hall.
Plate number 23, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a ground out to the pitcher. It's his job to keep this inning alive for his team, but Jimmy Rush has made it pretty tough for Eau Claire to get anything mounted since that first inning. He's only allowed 2 hits through the last 3 innings. He had a 1-2-3 fourth, and he's 1 out away from a 4th straight scoreless frame. He's just been able to get outs time and time again and force Eau Claire to hit his pitch. And when they do, they've been finding the Dirtbags, who've been playing great defense behind their pitcher. It's a strike called loud and clear by Alvarado. Is it painted the outside corner at the knees? It's 2-1. 2 are gone. Bruick is standing on first base. Here is the pitch. And it's a foul ball to the right. It stays in the yard, but it was hit far enough away for neither Hensley or Bleck to get to it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dirtbags did not wear these purple uniforms yesterday. They wore the white ones. Maybe it's just the luck of the purple ones. It's a good chance if they go to the World Series to be starting off with these ones. The pitch is just off the plate, and it's going to be a full count with 2 outs. On the pitch, Brewick will be on the move. So you may see Jimmy Rush check over on him just to see if you can catch him leaning. Rush looking in for his sign from Hardy. He likes what he's got. Here's a 3-2. And it's popped up right side. Hensley going back. Maravilla coming in. He makes the play on the line for the 3rd out. We're through 5. It's 6-2 for their Dirtbags. They are 2 innings away from a regional championship. You're watching the Crown Point Babe Ruth Tournament here on the Crown Point Sports Network. We're in the 6th. 5 innings are in the book, and the Dirtbags are winning 6-2. And they are 6 outs away from going to the World Series. Ryan Bleck is due up for the Dirtbags. They're going to try to add some more insurance runs and really break this game open. Knickerbocker delivers a strike to start off the inning. He's got to settle in here and have a quick inning and get his team back to the plate, which 2-3-4 will be coming up. Shot back to Knickerbocker, and he says hello. Somehow he's able to catch that baseball, as that one was a screamer, and that's out number 1. I think that's a definition of a line out, as that was ticketed towards center field for a hit, but instead it just happened to find Sam Knickerbocker. And this is popped up right side, 2 pitches, and this could be 2 outs, and there's the 2nd out. Hesselman was dancing with the baseball over in shallow right center, and he makes the play, and there are 2 gone. An efficient start to the inning for Knickerbocker and Eau Claire, as Sparks is taking his time into the box, as he's already looking up, and Knickerbocker is peering over the glove. He's already into his windup, and time is granted. Knickerbocker is wasting no time. He wants his team to get up to the plate. They're down 4 runs. Here's his pitch, and it's a foul ball off to the right. I thought maybe that was going to be a 3-pitch inning for the Eau Claire Athletics, who would love to see that. With them down 4 runs, they have 6 outs to play with. We're in the top of the 6th. Delivery, 0-1. And that's the first ball thrown in the inning. It's 1-1. It was a breaking ball that didn't break. Sparks is 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging and a fly up the center. He's really taking his time going in and out of the box. 1-1. And that's down and in, 2-1 now. Sparks trying to slow down this inning, as he saw his first 2 batters go down on the first pitches they saw. And he shoots one into right field. This looks like it should be a foul ball, and it will be. Watkins and Brewick raced after it, and it is Deuces Wild on the board with 2 gone. Crown Point at the plate. They're leading in the game. They are so close they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that light will lead them to Seattle. Well, not Seattle, but the state of Washington. 2-2. And that's outside. had to stop myself there. I thought maybe Alvarado rung him up because his hand shot out over to the right, but he's signifying it was outside. And once again, it's just another instance where Knickerbocker just wanted to throw the pitch, and Sparks wasn't even ready. Sparks was looking down. By the time he looked up, he had saw Knickerbocker ready to raise his leg. Payoff. And he said, that's down. That's ball 4. Sparks works the walk, trying to get something ignited for his team with 2 outs. Aiden Hensley's the batter. Hensley is 0 for 2. He is struck out and hit into a 3 unassisted. He swings through a fastball, and he is late, 0-1. Hensley swings with everything he has on every pitch he sees. It is 0-1. Long pause. Knickerbocker will fire, and it's a ground ball to the right side, and that gets through for a hit. That's really just been the type of game the Dirtbags have had. Whatever they put contact on, it's been able to find the holes. And for Eau Claire, it's been the opposite effect.
Now coming to plate, number 12, Max McNeil.
Hensley's 1 for 3. And after 2 quick outs, the Dirtbags have worked a walk and gotten in a opposite field single as Knickerbocker's just trying to get that 3rd and final out. Always the toughest one, it feels like. And strike starts the at-bat to McNeil. McNeil's also 0 for 2. As the Dirtbags have 3 hitters that have 2 hits on the day. The bottom of the order has not seen too many, and that's a swing and a miss. And they're saying that's a wild pitch. So what the call is a swing and a miss. And the ball got away from Veith, and that's why Alvarado, the home plate umpire, had his hand up. He's signifying that it was a strike. He was calling it a swing on McNeil, and McNeil's behind 0-2. But 2 runners in scoring position for McNeil, as there's now a pinch runner for Aiden Hensley over at second, as they go for more speed just in case there is a hit. Knickerbocker peers over his glove. He goes into his windup, and it's a ground ball to short. It is gloved by Grautenhausen, who throws to first, and it's a perfect throw to Chase Watkins, and there goes the threat for the Dirtbags. We go to the bottom of the 6th with the Dirtbags up 6-2, even after stranding 2 runners, as you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Bottom of the 6th, and time is running out for Eau Claire. They're down 4 runs, and they have 6 outs to play with. But if you're going to start the bottom of the 6th down 4 runs, might as well start with the heart of the order, and that's what they're going to come up with Trent Palmer, Carter Veith, and Sam Knickerbocker. As Trent Palmer is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles in this game, and he went 3 for 3 earlier, so he is 5 for 5 on the day with a walk. So he's got on base all 6 times. Pitch, and it's a foul ball that pops out of the glove of Hardy. It's 0-1. Rush has thrown a lot of strikes and has had a good tempo to his delivery. He wastes no time walking around the mound or clearing any dirt. He just likes to throw the ball, and he's been doing that extremely well today. against Eau Claire, as he had a rough first inning where he allowed 3 hits, but since then he's only allowed 2 through the last 4 innings. The pitch, and that's up and away, 2-1. As the mentality by Eau Claire right now is to pass the baton and give it to the next guy. They need runners on base, and Jimmy Rush has now allowed too many. Here's the pitch, and that is upstairs, 3-1. Now he's starting to wonder if maybe Eau Claire might be taking until they see 2 strikes. They've been hitting the ball hard, just haven't had any results. The 3-1 is a called strike. It nudged its way into the inside corner for strike 2. It is a full count to Palmer. Palmer has been the hottest hitter in the Eau Claire lineup. They lead off with him in the bottom of the 6th. It's a payoff pitch. It's on its way. And it's off the end of the bat and foul as it goes just to my left and to the left of home plate. We'll do 3-2 again. Veith is on deck. Veith is 0 for 1, but he does have a hit by pitch and a run. This is a pop-up to the left side. Winters racing after it. He'll make a play in foul territory. That's a key out for the Dirtbags as Palmer, that's the first time he's been retired today in the doubleheader. Veith steps up. It was a 3-1 count. Rush wins the battle and gets the first out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Winters. Winters was able to pick it up. He throws across the diamond. Hensley extends, and he makes the play. There's 2 gone. Four outs away are the Crown Point Dirtbags from going to the World Series. Sam Knickerbocker is up to the plate. He's been pitching pretty well since coming out of the bullpen. He will take a breaking ball for a strike just on the outer edge. Rush has been able to paint the corners. He hasn't made too many mistakes in the middle of the plate. And if he does, his team's been able to back him up. It's 0-2 after another strike called on the outside corner. Rush could put up his 5th goose egg. The pitch, it's out. He's been pitching effectively and efficiently. He's put his team in a position to get to the 7th, up 4. The pitch, that is out. Another good take from Knickerbocker. It is 2-2. The deuces are wild. Watkins standing on deck. Here is the break-even pitch. And it's hit hard to the right side, and it's going to find Muravilla again. 3 outs away for their Dirtbags. As we go to the 7th with Crown Point up 6-2. And you're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Strike to start the at-bat to Christian Kostoff in the top of the order. Kostoff is 1 for 2 with a double, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout swinging. As his team is 3 outs away from going to a World Series. The pitch, that's down and in. It's now 1-1. There's no outs, and the bases are empty. Top of the order once again for the Dirtbags. Kostoff takes one on the outside corner for a strike. It is now 1-2. Knickerbocker gets his sign. He nods in agreement, and he'll deliver the pitch. And Kostoff will hit it off to the right and out of play, and he want to seize another one. This was a team that was outscored 23-3 yesterday, the Dirtbags. But it's a new day, and it's really been paying off for them as they are getting very close to celebrating a regional title. Inside for ball 2. That one just missed. It was a good pitch by Knickerbocker in a 1-2 count, but a much better take by Kostoff. Kostoff slightly chokes up on the bat. Break-even pitch. And it's a chopper to the shortstop, Gutshausen, who will throw low to first, and it is picked up off the ground by Chase Watkins. And there is one out to start this inning. And this is the part of the order where the Dirtbags have done the damage. Corona, Hardy, Winters, and Andrus. Corona and Hardy both have 2 hits apiece. Winters has a hit and a sacrifice fly, and Andrus has 2 hits. Corona takes a big cut, and he missed it for strike 1. There's just a half inning of play to go. And the Dirtbags are getting very close. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball is going to get Corona. Corona will flip his bat over to his right, and he will get first base as he is rewarded for wearing that baseball off his left arm. And now there is a talk between the umpires after the Eau Claire manager came in. And all the Eau Claire players are just to the right of the mound from our angle. And Gary Chick just had to tell him to do something. And there's warnings for each side. Wow, that's the first time in all my years here at Babe Ruth where I've seen warnings issued because of hit by pitches. That's interesting. I thought I've seen it all in this press box. I've been here a long time, and I have never seen a warning issued. Hardy is at the plate. Here's the pitch. And that gets past the catcher. Corona is going to move up to second on the wild pitch. How many hit by pitchers have there been in this game? I see the one on Murray Villa in the second. And that's it. And then the one to Corona, of course. There was a couple hit by pitches in the first inning, but none after that. Shot into left center. It drops down for a hit. Getting the wave around is Corona, and he's safe at the plate. It's 7-2 Dirtbags. They make him pay for the hit by pitch. Another run scores. And C.J. Hardy is 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And he got a walk, so he's gotten on base all 4 times in this game. Owen Winters will now step up. His team has just been building the lead. Here's the pitch. That's up and away, 1-0. Knickerbocker just trying to work quick. He wants to get to the bottom of the 7th, but his team's going to have to score 5 runs. Maybe more if this inning continues. Swinging a miss, 1-1. Some just clutch hitting by the Dirtbags. The top of the order has been red hot. You have 3 players with multi-hits for the Dirtbags. The delivery. And another cut that ended up in a miss, and it's 1-2. Looking for the double play to end the inning. But again, 5 runs or more would do it for Eau Claire, and that's a strikeout. No doubt, throw over the first, and it's not in time. There's 3 swing and misses by Owen Winters, and that strikeout from the southpaw is his second. And his first strikeout since Jaden Andrus to end the 5th inning, and Andrus is at the plate. Andrus takes a practice swing, just left of home plate, as he had some big hits with his 3 RBIs on the day. The pitch, and Andres frails at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Good, rowdy Eau Claire crowd on hand. Usually how it goes with Eau Claire, and we love it. Always love a good, rowdy crowd. Seen them numerous times through the years at Ohio Valley, through numerous groups. Always talented bunch. 1-1. And they are 3 outs away from with another what if. And Andres misses a fastball, 1-2. Last year they were just short, and as of right now they may run just short again. And there's a pitch. That's outside. Andres didn't get time granted. Andres had his bat on the ground, literally, and the pitch was delivered. He's going to be more focused this time. Break even. That's down and in, 3-2. Runner on the move, on the pitch. That's C.J. Hardy standing on first. Again, no time wasted by Knickerbocker. The pitch is clobbered into left. This might be a play for Palmer. Palmer going towards the line. He can't make the play. He covered a lot of ground on that one, going way to his right, and he just couldn't secure the baseball. As again, he covered a lot of ground, so I was impressed that he even got close to that, but just was not there to make the play for the third out. 7-2, Dirtbags leading. Eau Claire, they're on the ropes, but you've seen them make a comeback before in this tournament. Payoff. Called strike 3. He gets the inside corner. That ends the inning, but the Dirtbags add an insurance run, and they are 3 outs away. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Ohio Valley Regional Championship on the Crown Point Sports Network. Three outs away. The Dirtbags see the light at the end of the tunnel, and Jimmy Rush has pitched them to that light. 0-1. Ground ball to Corona. Corona gobbles it. He flips it to first. 1 out. Watkins hit it hard just at Corona, and the Dirtbags are 2 outs away. The fans are on the edge of their seats. The Crown Point team just needs 2 more. That's it. 2 more outs. And they have 5 runs to play with. That is a huge cushion. Hesselman is the batter. The pitch, it's downstairs for ball 1. Every pitch is huge. The Dirtbags just need the 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That will not be an out. That will be a base hit. Hesselman saw a curveball, stayed back, and just shot it back up the middle. He's standing on first base. He's 2 for 3. He's had a good day against Rush, but it may not be enough for his team. Giles Grunthausen, he's now up. He is 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a fly out to right field. Jimmy Rush gets his sign. The middle infield playing in. Towards second base, they're pinching. That's the word I wanted to use. It's 0-1, called strike. Just in case the ball is hit up the middle for a possible double play. Grunthausen sees one go down and away, and it's 1-1. A double play would end it and give the Dirtbags the celebration they've been looking for. It's in the left field. McNeil, he's got a beat on it. He's there. There's 2 outs. The Dirtbags are on the ropes. And the Eau Claire Athletics are on the ropes. The Dirtbags are looking for the knockout blow. Rush could pitch a complete game and only allow 2 runs, which came in the first. Rothke is now batting. He waves his bat behind him. Here's his pitch. It's on just out. Ball 1. 2 gone. Jaden Andrus is in the first base dugout, walking around. He's pacing. Line drive in the left. This will be a base hit. Eau Claire stays alive to see another hitter. It's Dylan McCracken. But they need a lot to go for them right now. McCracken is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to short. The tying run is in the hole. They need to try to at least get Ryan Hall at the plate. Here's the first pitch. It's outside, ball 1. And for Rush, that was only pitch number 87, so he's got plenty to work with. The limit is 105, so 18 pitches. But he just needs the 1 out. He looks back to runners. He's set, taking his time. Here's his pitch. And that's a strike. He stays cool, calm, and collected and throws one over the plate. 2 strikes away from going to the World Series. The Dirtbags can see Washington in their sights and a chance to represent the Ohio Valley. That's up. They're going to check down to Gary Chick. Gary Chick says McCracken did not go. It's 2-1. The intensity in this ballpark is one-sided. Nervousness for, there's a ground ball. It's hit right to the shortstop. They go to second, and the Dirtbags are heading to Washington. They're going to the World Series. They have won the Ohio Valley, and they have upset Eau Claire by a final score of 7-2. Congratulations to the Dirtbags as they have won the regional and will represent Ohio Valley in the 2022 World Series. Well, the journey ends here. And it was a lot of fun to be with you guys throughout this journey. And we are happy to see Crown Point will go back to its World Series. That will do it here from Legacy Fields. And it was fun to debut the Crown Point Sports Network with you fans. And we wish you a nice rest of your day. Again, congratulations to the Dirtbags. They win it 7-2. This was Andrew Mild on the Crown Point Sports Network. We'll see you next time.